How are we doing tonight, ladies and gentlemen? I'm just making a brief video here, giving some more information. Tonight I'm going to go over a letter that I sent to pharmaceutical companies regarding being taken off of pain medication, and what this matter revolves around is how Democrats have constantly harassed my son and I. HRDC has refused to help us at all. You know about us being illegally evicted from 30% housing. And then the clinic that I was going to when they took me off of my prescriptions for pain was CHP, which is the low-income clinic. I've showed you, the prescription for morphine that I was on. I was on methadone first for pain, which, in anybody that doesn't know what that is, it is a synthetic opioid pain medication given to people in severe pain or people who are heroin addicts. And obviously I'm not a heroin addict. I've got 4 spinal injuries and 2 knee injuries, varicose veins, my hips are always out of place, and a whole slew of other things. But the point of my video tonight is just to talk about how I have been in contact with pharmaceutical companies regarding discrimination and being taken off. I think Pfizer, Purdue, Mallinckrodt are the ones that I remember the most. There was a whole bunch of other ones that, small ones that I don't remember. Those are just 3 of the big names. But I wrote this letter. I'm not going to read this letter to you tonight. I was originally going to, but I'm having problems with my phone this evening, and I can't stand using my laptop to make videos. On my laptop, I keep a sticker over the camera, just because, after learning about, technology and being a targeted individual, and talking to anarchists on anarchist forums, I know better than to do that. So, half the time if I'm in a place I don't want anybody to know, I'll keep my data on my phone turned off and the camera covered up on my phone. But basically what I did in the letter is I just went over how I was taking off my medications when Republicans signed the bill to reduce people's medications. Originally when they did that, they weren't supposed to take me off, because that was just basically to find other alternatives for people who weren't in severe pain. And I was not one of the people that was not in severe pain. I was definitely in severe pain, and they were not supposed to do that. In fact, my doctor, before she left the clinic I was at, even told me they weren't supposed to. And in the letter, I briefly discuss about how I was on a pain contract and taking drug tests at certain intervals, and never came up dirty or anything like that. And so there was no reason for them to take me off. So I think, and I'm going to repeat this thing, like I said, the reason why I'm making this video is just to show how Democrats have refused to help. I am going to be making a longer video sometime here in the near future about an investigation that's been ongoing for about a year now of my son's mother in welfare fraud. I have proven 5 years of welfare fraud, and the state does not want to do anything about it. I've tried to get help at HRDC, when they've illegally evicted us from places, and they refuse to help me. They know that my son's with me. They don't care. I've tried, and I don't, to be honest with you, I do not like going to these places. It's like they're forcing me to do all these things, because I cannot find sustainable, employment that I can make enough money to keep a roof over me and my son's head, or to make a decent living. Every time that I think I have a good job, something happens. They either don't give me enough hours, or they fire me, or lay me off, or they do something. And then it's like they're forcing me to go to Democrat, places to try to find help. And then these places won't even help us. It's ridiculous. Full-blown homeless, and I had talked to somebody in a construction site who told me where the emergency housing was because him and his family had to live there for a while. I go to HRDC and they look at me and they say, Mr. Soames, there is no such thing as emergency housing. And where the HRDC is, there's emergency housing in the same freaking parking lot. I think there's like a four bedroom or fourplex apartment building or something like that. So just one of the small examples. I'm going to cut this video short. It's just a documentary, to document the things my son and I go through. Hopefully I'll be able to write a book sometime in the near future, or do something. I'm, doing everything that I can. I hope you guys have a great evening, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.